I think.
Tell Steve your problem that you aired to me.
Well, do you know how, like, I'm always thinking about stuff when I'm washing up?
I'm just going to look at Steve for the reaction when this question comes out. Okay.
There's been a few things I've been thinking about. Do you know, like, how I try to confuse a computer by putting in Y in the search engine?
Yeah.
So, along the lines of that, I was thinking in the week, if you put a chameleon on a mirror, what would happen?
Right.
And also, this is a bit of a bigger issue. We're always making more and more stuff, right, in the world. You know, big buildings, big planes, big boats and that. Will we ever get to a point where all this is too heavy for the world to handle?
Right, what error has he made there, Steve? What physical, scientific error has he made there with that question?
I can't begin to explain it.
Carl, we're not getting the rocks from other planets. It's already here. It's like having a big pile of books in a room and then moving them over to the other side of the room and build a thing going, oh, can the room take it? I'm building a lot of things out of these books.
What about plastic? Where's that come from?
Other chemicals that existed on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you see the point?
Hang on a minute, though. What about a little tree? You plant that's an acorn, it grows, Rick. That's bigger. That's more stuff.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him, Carl. He's patronising you.
What about acorns and that, though?
Right. They grow from minerals and proteins already in our atmosphere or in our the mass of Earth.
What about a cat, Carl? Right, you get it. It's a very tiny kitten, but it grows up and it's bigger.
Carl, he's doing it on purpose.
Elephants.
They're very small to begin with, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and so they get heavier and heavier.
Mind you, dinosaurs have gone.
You know, but you. Famously that's how Atlantis disappeared. You know, you've heard of the legend of Atlantis. Have you heard of the legend of Atlantis?
I think so.
This was a city that existed. It's proven, right? And what happened was they just kept buying stuff in mail order. They just kept ordering stuff, like the king and stuff. Just kept ordering stuff in mail order. He brought girls across,
carpets, lot of carpets.
He kept buying TV set, big screen TVs and stuff like that. And eventually,
he bought up all the myrrh that the wise men didn't want.
Yeah, because he's from, like, olden times, and he just kept buying stuff, crazy, like, he was just a shopaholic, basically.
Mental it was.
And he was ludicrous, it was like, and in the end, it just sunk.
Too heavy.
And it just sunk.
So, to the Earth, the more planes we build, the more trees we let grow, from acorns.
And more than that, what about all the people who are overeating?
There's only one
Rick
thing
Wallace
to do.
in this world.
I think we've got to kill off endangered species and burn trees. That's the only way the Earth can survive. You mental. Right, what are you doing?
Right.
Rockbusters?
Is it that time?
It is indeed. Last week, of course, it was a disaster.
Yeah, every Saturday at 16 minutes to 2, we do Rockbusters.
I have to say that I've not really gone through them, but the prizes look exactly the same as they were last week.
Yeah.
There's that T-shirt.
So it's a rollover, but you haven't added to it.
Have you not?
The point of a rollover is you've got to add to it. That's the excitement.
Yeah, there's a couple of albums that.
Okay, well, it's also the Fools and Horses video with the free.
I don't think I'm bloody jealous of that. I like that little yellow thing.
It's a little. There's a little kind of model three-wheeled van.
Rodney, you plonker.
Oh, dear.
What's that?
This is what looks to be some kind of best of the stereo MCs.
Don't call me a plonker, you wanker.
The David Attenborough DVD collection.
Oh, the hunk shit himself again.
Oh, yeah, the big prize that we tried to give away. Best
Cassandra!
Who is that supposed to be an impression of? Which member of the cast is that? Is that Cheeky Dell?
I don't know.
Best chill out album ever, the best air guitar volume 2, and of course for all our fans, Doctor Who, The Aztecs. That's on DVD, and that's one of the William Hartnell Doctor Who. Alright, that's the worst impression I've ever heard. That's brilliant.
Right, then.
Right, three cryptic stuff. Oh, come on.
Right.
Rodney,
Three. I can't do it.
No, come on!
Right, three cryptic clues.
Some of which may be wrong.
Yeah, and don't take the letters literally.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
Wars in Iraq,
But
terrorism, it doesn't mention anything.
But that's all being wrote about anyway. If you're saying there's a museum that's keeping everything, there's loads of other books for that. Who's looking at the fella whose skulls fell off?
What?
We see. It's interesting, isn't it?
What do you mean the fellow whose skulls fell off?
Well, that's what happened the other week, so I wrote about it.
What?
A fella's skull has fell off.
What do you mean his skull has fell off?
It's something to do with circulation.
But what do you mean his skull fell
Well,
off?
it's in the diary.
But how can a skull fall off? Because it's surrounded by tissue and it's got a brain. How can just his skull? How can it detach itself from all the stuff surrounding
He
it?
mislaid all his dreams.
But all I'm saying is that's not getting a look in.
No, because it's not significant or probably true.
Good point, Steve.
I don't.
All
know
right. Well,
what's
let me
anything
just.
based on.
I'll just consult the diary quickly and find the moment with the man whose skull fell off. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Looks like the world's fattest man is having an operation to get rid of some of the fat.
Yeah.
He has to have an iron bed because that's the only thing that can hold his weight.
Yeah.
There's also a man whose skull has fell out. He's in hospital somewhere. I hate that. It would make me panic. The hospital is busy with people coming in to look at their head.
What are you talking about there? That tells us nothing. Right, it's impossible for a skull to fall out.
How are scholars in 10,000 years going to be... What are they going to decipher from that?
They can sort of go.
There's not enough incident detail.
But how did his skull fall out?
Circulation problems.
But answer the question. How did his skull fall out? Fall out of what?
He was at home, and I don't know if he was combing his hair or something, but it come off.
What did?
His skull.
What do you mean, his skull? Do you know what the skull is?
It's a part of the head.
Well, no, it's the structure of the head. It's the bone. Do you mean the top of the skull?
This is only useful if you have all the salient facts. Then it would be of interest to us. We could.
Well, I couldn't take that on. I'm busy. I'm not going to start looking into stuff in depth. Just get the details.
God.
Too much to get through here, Rick.
Go on.
There's too many things we've got systematically.
Am I going to eat my
list.
words?
Well, before that, you know, we get emails all the time. They're coming through all the way through the show, and I open them, and a lot of them, because everyone's contributing, it's brilliant, but we can't really absorb everything. There's too much coming through. So I tend to open them quickly. I have a look, see if there's anything we can sort of make sense of, and close them again. Sometimes Karl looks at the emails as I'm opening them. One opened just a minute ago. You saw his face?
His face, yeah, what was it?
His face was just stunned. He was just absolutely dumbfounded. It was
Yeah,
like he'd
what
just
is it?
seen something extraordinary, right?
And you closed it quickly.
I did close it quickly. I'll tell you why, right? Always got to bear in mind how Karl's mind works. All he saw was the name of the band that this email was promoting. So all he saw, all Karl saw, and you can imagine how excited he was all he saw was Half Man, Half Biscuit. That's all he saw.
I've never seen anyone so excited! Oh, God!
It was actually just plugging the popular joke novelty band.
How
Half
you
Man, Half
heard of them,
Biscuit.
then?
No. Imagine how excited he was.
That is fantastic. Man, half biscuit! Brilliant! Mr. Garibaldi! Oh, half man, half biscuit. That is genius. Oh, amazing.